Welcome to Ring Talk Season 2, Episode 2, Take 2, because my microphone buggered up. Adrian, Steve?
I'm good, Martin, all good. We had a good night Saturday, didn't we?
We had a cracking night. A happy belated birthday to Olivia, 30 years old plus 10 months. And what a night it was. It was the opening of the Goodwin bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite heavy as well. I was feeling that Sunday.
Yeah, I was.
As much as you went on for another 3 hours after I left.
You got 12:30, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, 3:30, I was still going. That was me. That was good. It was a good night.
Well, I had the problem of trying to get an Uber back from Leighton Buzzard to Milton Keynes, and like getting the timing right on that was a bit of a pain. So yeah, but no, it was. I don't think anyone had as heavy a night as Dave Evans though.
No, he came. Do you know what he did? I got to bed. Our lovely whip. He's a great man, good friend. I got to bed at about 4:45. And at 7:25, Dave knocked on my front door because he left his phone in the cabin. So I had 3.5 hours kip, and I was really seriously had a big night. And then I had to let Dave. We had to go in the log cabin and find his phone. But I don't mind doing it for him because he's a good man. But my God, I was feeling it on Sunday.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing night. So thank you to you and your family and everybody that was there. It was brilliant fun.
That's good. So we'll be back in the bar on the 17th of August for the Ring Talk get together with people from boxing. So it won't be as heavy as that, but we'll still have a great night. So
excellent. So boxing, where are we going to start? Matchroom at the weekend.
Let's start with the question for the Ring Talk Live.
Yes. What is it?
Okay, I'll give a question. Name the boxer that I managed to win a British title.
Yes, okay. You have to be frank about it.
Yeah. Name the boxer that I managed to win a British title.
And people can either tweet us or email. What's the Goodwin Boxing email?
info@goodwinboxing.co.uk or tweet Martin or whatever, and then we will give you. And if you come Ring Talk, by the way, what we have done, you can bring a friend with you, so you're not on your own. So you can come in a twosome. And the idea being with that, we don't want people who, if they don't know us, if they feel on their own, so they can bring two people. So it's fine.
All right, awesome. So yeah, let me know, who did Frank manage to a British title?
Who did Steve manage for a British title?
Sorry, who did Steve manage to a British title?
There you go.
So yeah, email or tweet me, let me know. And August 17th, we're going to meet up in the bar again and talk all things boxing. I might give some of the names to some of the things that I'm going to talk about later, actually. There's a couple of questions I can't actually divulge the information on here. I can't do it face to face.
Perfect. Let's go.
No one will sue me face to face. Probably.
That's
boxing. What's going on in boxing?
Going on? Well, it's not going on. We had the Matchroom card. We had the York Hall card that fell apart and didn't happen. The first small.
Yeah, we're going to come on to that. I got a question about that one. Before we do any of that, Adrian Martin, big title fight.
Yeah, this is the September 18th show, headlined by Adrian Martin and Lewis Cerret fighting for the Southern Area Middleweight title. So that's going to be a cracking trade fight for both lads. For them, it's a massive, massive night. And it's a really, really going to be a real cracking fight. And there's some really good people on the undercard. Too many to mention all. I'll just mention a couple who experienced. Dana Zaxo, 7-0, one of the most exciting light heavyweights. And William Webber, who I believe is one of the best super middleweights in the country. And
I love William.
And Mark Little's making his comeback at cruiserweight. And we've got a plethora of debutantes, of super talented kids coming through who are going to make names in boxing, but I won't go through them all. But it's a really, really good card of a lot of the future title holders. But the main event itself is going to be an absolute barnstormer on the 18th of September.
So you've got the week before, September the 11th, Jamani Camiro against Conor Vian. Yep. And then September 18th, Adrian Martin, Lewis Cerret.
And then we've got the 9th of October, which is going to be announced shortly, which has 2 title fights on it so far, with possibly a third to be added. So that's a real banger, the one in October as well. So we're putting together cards within the remits of what we're allowed to do now with the board rules with COVID and everything else. And we're aiming to put some really good headliners on with some really good fights on the undercard. And
there are some board rules that we're not allowed to talk about really, but in time we probably can, which make life difficult, don't they? Really,
it's very difficult. Although the good news has been that with the fact that it looks very highly unlikely that there's going to be any COVID passports for boxers introduced in October, that we are going to run Plymouth. So after last week, we did a lot of conversations with people, and it seems now we'll be able to run Plymouth, which is fantastic news for the boys down in Plymouth.
Which is great news. So that means Brad Paul's getting out, hopefully, before making his Wassam debut.
Brad Paul's will be headlining the card in Plymouth, and his last fight on the small hall before he fights under the Wasserman boxing banner.
Yeah, better get in good shape. Don't go fuck it up. Yeah, make sure you leave with a bang, Brad. I'm sure you will.
Exactly.
Excellent. So keep all those dates in your diary. August 17th, Ring Talk Live, Steve's Garden. Email, tweet, who did Steve manage the British title? September 11th, Jimani Camiro, Conor Vian. September 18th, Adrian Martin, Lewis Cerret. October down in Plymouth. October at York Hall with 2 title fights. I can't remember the dates, but
9th.
But yeah,
you're going to make it to Plymouth this time.
I might do. What date's that?
16th.
Of October.
Yeah,
it's 2 days for my birthday. I might be able to make it.
Yeah, so we'll even drive you down, so you don't even have to drive yourself. How about that?
Yeah, I might keep an eye on that date. I say 2 days for my birthday.
There you go.
Another 21st birthday for me in Plymouth.
Sounds like a plan. So yeah, so we've got a lot to look forward to. We're working with immense difficulties at the moment. There are major problems, and overcome them and work around them. But more will be revealed as we know what's going on through time. We made the right decision not to be staging fights until September, and I'm glad we got this leading period to get everything resolved.
Yeah, and as I say, there's stuff that we can't really discuss, but it's swimming against the tide a little bit, isn't it? It's hard work.
Yeah.
Cool. So, right, weekend just gone. Matchroom Square Gardens. 750 quid a ticket, 50 quid booking fee. If you paid it, you paid it. Good on you.
Everything has a price, right? We say it before. If you feel...
I don't have an issue with it at all. It's got a price tag. People paid it. I have more of an issue with the StubHub debacle around the AJ fights and the scalping of tickets. But 750 quid plus 50 quid booking fee for the Matchroom one down at Eddie's back garden.
Yeah,
I don't have an issue with it.
Did it sell out?
I believe so.
Okay.
I don't have an issue with it at all. I think that is an experience day rather than a boxing show, isn't it? It's good on it. If they can get away with charging that, then charge it.
Exactly that. And you pay for an experience in life. And, you know, it's sort of odd, isn't it? I mean, I remember paying $2.5 grand to watch Lennox Lewis fight Evander Holyfield in 1999, which must be like $5 or $6 grand today's money or whatever. But, you know, do I think it's worth it? Really, probably wasn't, but I wanted the experience of doing it. So there are things in life that are worth it to you in that moment. And for those people that have been starved, good luck to them. If they, you know, you put a pricing up and he's got it, if he sold it out, he's got the pricing right. So good luck to him.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. So in terms of fights themselves, so again, I'm going to go by my my new theory of if I can't remember it happened, then it didn't happen. Anthony Fowler won. Didn't look remarkable, I didn't think. But I do love that Liam Smith fight. I think
So I lost your signal again. Your sound went again. No, the Liam's. Who do you think wins out of Fowler and Smith?
Liam Smith. I think he'll walk him down. I think he'll beat him up.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I think Beefy's too tough.
What, you think he's got enough left to win? Do you?
Yeah, I do. I really do. How about you?
I'm not sure about that fight, to be honest. You're dealing with somebody like Fowler who's never been in with anybody remotely of Liam Smith's quality and resume as a professional fighter. But I do think Liam Smith is sliding. But I don't think he's sliding enough not to win, if you know what I mean. But I don't think it's as clear cut as you think. But I think it's a good fight for Liverpool, put it that way. But I think probably Eddie is looking at Fowler and thinking, mate, you're not going all the way, so let's have a local derby and make a good fight. I think that's really what's happened here. If he thought Fowler was really going to hit the real top heights, I don't think he'd be putting him in with Smith in Liverpool.
No, I agree. I mean, there's no money in Smith these days. They're not being horrible about him, but you know, his peak days are behind him. If Fowler beats him, it does great things for him. But I don't think he does. I think Smith will beat him up. I really do. I don't think Fowler's
a good
big.
Fight. Good fight, Martin, though. It's a good fight. They're putting on a good fight there. I think that's a really good fight.
It's a brilliant fight. Fully, I'm on board with that. It's really good. Good bit of matchmaking, and I'm sure they'll build it up well.
Yeah, no, I think it's
good. Chris Billam-Smith, Tommy McCarthy.
I haven't seen the fight. I haven't seen any of it. I know he won on a split decision, Chris Billam-Smith, and
good fight.
Contentious. But it was always going to be a close fight. I like Chris Billam-Smith as a human being. I think he's a really good human being. I didn't see the fight, but it was never going to be one-sided. Good luck to Chris for winning. I mean, you know, hopefully he gets.
What do you think of the McGuigan and Frampton stuff in the back room?
I don't know. I've not. Do you know something? I was out on Saturday with you. I went out on Sunday, and I was out with the family. I then worked my balls off Monday and Tuesday, and I genuinely, most weekends I watch everything. I've seen nothing, read nothing. So you tell me.
So Carl Frampton turned up to be in Tommy McCarthy's corner.
Right.
And after the whole McGuigan-Frampton court case stuff, with Shane McGuigan being in the corner of Chris Billam-Smith, you then see footage in the back. Carl Frampton had gone to watch Billam-Smith get his hands wrapped.
Oh my God.
And so you've got Shane doing the hand wrapping. Carl stood watching him. Barry McGuigan stood watching Carl.
Oh, really?
And then Barry McGuigan went into McCarthy's dressing room to watch him get his hands wrapped with Frampton. Oh, it was, you know, when you think, oh, that's not comfortable. Like you've all shithoused each other there.
It's just, do you know what I think about that? Genuinely, fucking life it's about living a life and doing decent things. I really haven't got time for shit like that. Surely there's more important things to be worried about than being dickheads like that. It's just pathetic, in my opinion. That's just my view. First time I've known about it, but I just think they're doing it to wind each other up. And you think, get on with your life. Let's move on.
It can't bring you happiness doing that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Does that add any happiness or value to your life? I was happy on Saturday night, getting absolutely hammered with a lot of good people and having a great time and being entertained. That's adding happiness to my life. That is just.
No, I'm with you. Lee Wood beating Kanju.
Fantastic! What a fantastic result for Lee Wood. He's come up the hard way. He's done his fights. He's had his knockbacks and he's come and done that. Fantastic! So happy.
What a turnaround in a career.
Yeah, isn't it amazing?
I don't know if that's down to Ben Davison, if that's down to fate, if it's down to a bit of luck, whatever it is. I think all of them have to take some element of credit, and I include Ben Davison in that. I'm not his biggest fan by any means, but fair play. Like, he's done a remarkable job in turning that round. And Barry Smith as well. Shout out to Barry Smith.
Full credit to them. Whatever they've done has been a big part of it. And, you know, no, full credit to Lee Wood. And I guess they may end up doing a rematch with Jazza Dickens now, I guess. It's, but yeah.
Or Kid Galahad. Depends who wins this weekend.
Yeah. That's good luck. Listen, good luck. I love to see people turn their careers around and do something like that. So fantastic on him.
Yeah. I can't remember what else happened on the card, if I'm honest. So let's go on to this weekend instead, because I can't bother. Ellie Scotney's fighting, but she's still not got an opponent. That annoys me.
Why does it annoy you?
Because you've got Ebony Bridges being flown over from Australia to fight Bet Connolly in a fight that they put a little bit of build-up into. And yet you've got Ellie Scotney, who's Catford homegrown talent, immense talent. And what are we, 4 days out? And they've not got an opponent. That annoys me a lot. Anyway, just my individual rant.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, Ebony Bridges is the market. She'll make a load of money over here. She's marketed herself. And Ellie's got
Gareth A. Davis.
Sorry?
According to Gareth A. Davis, she's a Muhammad Ali.
Gareth, I think Gareth wasn't. That is not one of his smartest comments, Gareth. And I like Gareth, but that wasn't a smart comment.
He's got to be wind up.
It's got to be. No, but listen, she'll put bums on seats. She's doing a smart bit of business. She lost, she comes back. Full credit to her. Do you know what I mean? I've got nothing against her. It is, if you're talking about talent, Ellie Scotney would flatten Ebony Bridges now, flatten her. So it's, but on the other hand, listen, I don't know, Eddie's smart. He markets people well, but Ellie's got to get in the A list. I think with Matchroom, you get the ones that are the A list who are really looked after, and then you get the ones that are not so bothered about at the moment. And I think Ellie's in the also ran category, but hopefully in time she'll move on to the A list.
Yeah. She's only young, isn't she? She's got time.
Yeah. Exactly that. But the card itself this week,
Fabio Wardley, Nick Webb. I like that fight.
Good fight, really good fight. And I think Galahad Dickens is not a bad fight. I mean, I'm not saying I don't think it will be a great barnstormer to watch.
Doesn't do anything for me. I will probably not watch it unless it's on and I'm around. But
well, I'm in the air. I'm in the air on my way to Greece. It's all things being well, so I won't be seeing it. It's happened before and it wasn't very good. I don't really like watching Galahad fights, and Dickens has never made me believe he's a world champion. No, I get it.
It doesn't inspire me to watch it, but good on him. But I do think
Wardley, Nick Webb prediction.
Wardley 6th round knockout.
Yeah, I fancy Wardley. I fancy Fabio to win that quite comfortably.
Yeah, agree. I think Nick Webb's getting hyped up more for beating that Dutch geezer that no one actually knew anything about than he deserves to be for it. Let's not forget Dave Allen flattened him.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's competitive. I think Fabio's class. I think he beats Nick Webb comfortably, very comfortably. Johnny Fisher back, who's quite a busy heavyweight. It's quite exciting to watch. You got the Ebony Bridges fight, Akib Fiaz, who's on the B list, and then Ellie's at the bottom. But yeah, it's and then you've got the Conlon fight on Friday, haven't you? Which is not on anywhere really. It's on ESPN Plus or whatever, and it's not been picked up on
TV. I think we got a question about that, so we'll come on to that later.
So that's really what we've got, isn't it? I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's nothing too spectacular this week. I mean, it's what it is. But yeah, so we'll crack on. But yeah, we'll have to see what it deals us with. But yeah, this week I think the heavyweight fight's good. It's the only real fight on the night that's worth watching, really.
But it all comes down to that £2 per month to the zone for all of Fight Camp. It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's okay for £2. I feel I can't really complain about it too much.
No, exactly.
I with Joe Markowski this week. Oh, my audio gone again. Let's fiddle something. How's that?
It's better again.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I had 40 minutes with Joe Markowski this week.
How was it? Was he interesting?
Really interesting. Really interesting. He's, we're just chatting about the zone and, their aims, their ambitions, and their kind of drivers. They're such a data-driven company. It's really interesting. It'll come out as a podcast in due course, but it's worth listening. Yeah, right. Should we hammer on to the questions?
Okay, let's go.
Where are we at? Steve Barm on Twitter. Why does Eddie not have a lot of fighters on contract? If you look at his shows, most fighters are not matchroom fighters. He's been quite open about this, hasn't he, in the past, that they just work on a fight-by-fight basis.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, when I've had fighters with Eddie, I had Chisora, who was on fight by fight, and I had Frank Buglioni, who had an actual contract with him. But most of them, I think his attitude is, we do it fight by fight. If you want to go somewhere else, go somewhere else. I think that's his attitude. He believes he's the best, and he believes everybody should want to work with him. And if you don't, he just lets you go and do something else. I think, full credit to him for the way he operates. I can only say, and I will say this, and I said it time after time after time, in all my dealings with him, he's been thoroughly decent. He's kept his word. He's not screwed any boxers over, and he's done the right thing. And I can only say my experience of him is very, very, very positive.
And it comes down to, I'm not the biggest Hearn fan in the world, but if I had a fighter that I was managing and I had every promoter in the country available, which one would I pick? I'd pick Hearn every time.
Well, there's a not always every time, because
if everybody was offering me £10, the same deal.
No, I don't agree. No, because no. Now I've got. I think it depends on where you are with your fight. If I've got a fighter that I don't think is ready to go bit deep in today, and I sign Linus Udofia with Eddie Hearn, right? Now, he might want to stick him in with Jack Cullen tomorrow. He might want to stick him in with... Now, I don't want that for Linus yet. We're not totally ready for that jump. But if you take that, the likelihood is you're going to lose an element of control in your development. Now, I think if you've got a fighter that's fully developed and ready for everybody, yes, then you sign with Eddie. But if he's not going to develop them and he just wants to put them in the 50-50 fights, then maybe he's not the right promoter at that point of a career. So that's my caveat. Depends on where you are.
That's fair enough. Where would you put them then?
Well, we've got Linus. Linus is signed with Wasserman's alongside Brad Pauls.
Yeah, but if you had every available option for a fighter, not Linus, not Brad, but Dave. Dave, the 10-0 fighter that's got bundles of potential.
Where they're with their career. If they are somebody that if they're a big ticket seller and somebody that I have manipulated into a position, but they're 5 fights away from a massive fight, and I'm signing with Eddie on a fight-by-fight basis, maybe not. Eddie's not the right one there, because the career could be, you're not going to get the managed through. You become like a Bellotti as an opponent if you're not careful, and therefore that's not necessarily the right promoter for him. It's different for different fighters, and I think that's where the skill of management comes in, to evaluate where your fighter is, what you're really getting out of this deal. And then with Frank Buglioni, what I got with that was a deal where I had apart from mandatories being forced on us, I had the opponent choice. So consequently, if you look at who Frank fought under Eddie Hearn, they were perfect matches until he fought Callum Johnson, which was the mandatory, which I didn't particularly want, but Frank wanted to go for that by that stage. But if you look beforehand, when he was on that contract, then we had the choice of opponents. Once he lost to Callum Johnson, we were then out of contract. Then we were offered Fan Long Meng. At this point now, we no longer are in control of the opponents. It's a take it or leave it situation. So now it wasn't the same, because really Frank was the B-side against Fan Long Meng. So the point was, if we kept winning and had avoided the Callum Johnson fight and had fought somebody of our choice and won, he may have lasted a lot longer at that level. But once you give that thing up, it's not the same deal with Matchroom as you had when you started. It's really smart management how you do that. So that is, all things being equal, what I think would say is, if they were all offering the same thing and they were all offering to let you as a manager do the same thing, you would sign with Eddie. But that's not what's going to happen in real life.
All right, let's move on. Joel Green on Twitter. The price of the DAZN subscription is due to go up after Fight Camp. How much do you think it will be? And if you owned it, what would you price it at per month?
Price it wherever you can get away with.
Yeah, but what do you think? Because if you go back to the Box Nation days, that was what, 10 quid per month?
That failed, didn't it?
And it failed. So I think that's the watermark whereby you don't want to go up to that. Without having.
I think $5.99 is a good point now, and then look to go up in gradual stages. I think if you're being smart, you'd up it a bit, but not too much. I wouldn't go from 2 quid to 10 quid. But I think if you went up to, if you go up to 5, 6, and then go up from there.
I think it'll be 5 by the end of the calendar year.
Yeah. But it's good value. It's good value at £5. It's good value.
Yeah, that seems all right still. I'm okay with it. Joel, still on Twitter. Steve, do you have any female fighters on your books? If so, who?
Lauren Parker.
Are we allowed to talk about Lauren? Not yet.
Announced on Thursday. So by the time this goes out, there'll be an announcement going out about Lauren Parker on Thursday. And I'm delighted I signed her, and we've been able to do something very good with her. And there's an announcement coming out on Thursday.
Lovely Lauren as well.
Lovely, isn't she? She's great. I've signed a new female from Stuart Scott's gym called Juliet Horwood, and she's going to be boxing probably November, December, and making her debut. And I've got a young lady who's trying to get her first win in the UK, Sangeeta Birdie, who's she's hopefully going to grab that win soon.
If you ever want to watch an exciting fighter, watch Sangeeta Birdie. She's just in a tear-up every fight.
Yeah.
She's mad.
Yeah. No, she's a lovely girl, and I hope she can get that win.
Yeah, but my God, has she got some heart on her.
Hasn't she? Hasn't she?
Beto Q on Twitter. Right, I'm going to use his wording. It's not my wording. Thoughts on the Mo Pryor debacle from this weekend? Was he right to pull the show?
He wasn't right to try and stage a fight in July when lockdown was eased on the 19th of July and the boxing board had not even sanctioned York Hall as a venue and were only doing inspection 2 days before the show. That was not the smartest move in the world.
Yeah, that's where the errors might have occurred. Do you fear that it happens regularly in small hall where lads can't isolate in bubbles beforehand? That's not the biggest risk about it, is it? We discussed this off camera, that there are other challenges.
So all I'm going to say, if the board tell you not to run a show and warn you months before, don't do this, and you run a show against every bit of advice that you get from the board, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into in-depths as to who, what, how. Let's just say that was doomed to disaster.
Question 3, any Phil Williams fight news? He loves Phil Williams, old Better Q.
Phil's been ill. Phil's been in hospital with COVID.
Has he? Is he all right?
He's out now. He's back. He's getting back, but he was bad. He was in a bad way in hospital with COVID, and he's okay now. I spoke to Phil regularly. I spoke to him, I think it was yesterday, and he's back training again and everything like that. He'll be back in September.
All right. Good on him. I hope he comes back, manages to get himself in good shape, all those things, and let's see the best of Phil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yestin on Twitter, a question you probably can't answer. Do you know what Wasserman are planning to do with shows?
I do, but I can't answer.
Could I take a punt? Because I don't know. My guess would be, purely based on what their stable is, they've got Chris Eubank that they signed prior to, well, what was that? Probably about 6 months ago, that they've not managed to do anything with other than put him in with Marcus Morrison. My guess would be, and I don't know the answer to this at all, you use Chris Eubank as the headline to place yourself into a TV market, whatever that TV market is, ITV, Sky, BT, the Zone, I don't know. And then you stable that you sign underneath, so the Brad Pauls, the Nofias, the others, and they become the support for Chris Eubank, and you try and build them using Chris Eubank's name. That's my guess.
It's quite an obvious. That's a fairly light scenario, yeah, for sure.
I'm not upsetting anyone, I'm sure, in saying that.
Yes, it's got to be what they're doing. That would make sense.
Sweet Pugilism on Twitter. Is isolating in bubbles pre-show the only way to combat these last-minute pullouts, or having opponents on standbys for main events?
It depends on what you do and how much you test fighters. I mean, we've got our own plans in place for when we come back in September, and but seeing as other people don't seem to be able to implement correct plans, we'll keep our plans back for ourselves to make sure that we but we know all the problems, and we hopefully will be able to rectify those problems by the time we come to September.
And there would always be the board guidelines, wouldn't there, that you have to
within the board guidelines. We will work, but we'll also have additional things to try and protect things from happening. But you need, But I don't want to talk about last weekend's fall because there's a lot, But we've been that off. I've said what I'm going to say about that. But in terms of the bigger shows, then the big problem they had with Conor Benn pulled out, which is a home fighter, so that wasn't really that thing. But the bubbles thing should finish soon because in reality the laws have changed now. You've got to remember, 19th of July. This is the whole point. We've removed social distancing. We've removed everything, and for me, and this is something we'll discuss more at the live ring talk. I think, for me, I don't know what's going on when the law says what it says.
I think I can see the value in the bubble side of it for, say, a matchroom show, because actually you're now creating content around those bubbles. You're now putting fighters together and building those storylines pre-fight. I can see a point in doing that, irrespective of COVID.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus, they're full-time, go out trying to sell tickets in the last 48 hours. They're not trying to distribute the tickets and do their last bits of training. They can just concentrate on the training. That's the difference.
You've got to be realistic that in small hall boxing, you've got to remember, though, you're staging shows before the board's rules for July were the board's rules from June, pre-19th of July. If you stage a show under those rules, you're staging them under the previous rules. It's just, it's just what
Any updates on Dylan versus Mahoney?
Like your son's going again. It's just. I
don't know what that is. How's that?
Yeah, I can hear you again. I lost you a few times, but Dylan Wahomey is on the 9th of October.
All right, so that's one of the two title fights.
Yeah.
All right, John Bailey, have you spoken with?
Providing Dennis Wahomey doesn't pull out, of course.
John Bailey, have you spoken with any other promoters to establish a way of promoting through this post-Brexit and COVID situation?
No, because at the end of the day, we believe we're the most professional, we know what we're doing, and we've got smart ideas. Why on earth, when these people are your competitors, would you impart your knowledge and expertise and our ideas to avoid things to these people to some people that don't know what they're doing?
Especially when you can watch and learn from others' mistakes that go on around you.
Well, I haven't learned anything recently other than what... No, I haven't learned anything.
Could COVID end up pushing you away from any promotion?
Martin, it's gone again.
Right. How's that?
No, it's gone again. Gone again.
Any joy?
That's it, better.
Could COVID end up pushing you away from any promotional activity, concentrating on managing a more select group of fighters?
Can you answer that one, Martin?
My gut feeling is, if in 12 months the scenario hasn't changed and the things that we haven't discussed on here today that you and I have discussed off camera haven't changed, then it would not surprise me one iota if you went bollocks to this, because the hassle of trying to continue running a financially viable boxing service in those conditions, it seems to me the amount of hours to do that would be ridiculous, and the risk that you would intake in doing so, unless certain rules were adapted.
Absolutely. But let me tell you this, that for me, in boxing, I'm either in or I'm out. There's no change in my role. When I decide that I'm finished with boxing, it will be everything.
Lee on Twitter, thoughts on the scam that is, these are his words, not mine, don't sue me. Thoughts on the scam that is the relationship between Matchroom Boxing and StubHub. Is this just legalized ticket touting?
Yes.
I did a piece about 12 months ago that involved a Matchroom boxer, a former Matchroom boxer. He wasn't boxing at the time. In that piece, he said to me, it's a fairly open secret about the fact that Matchroom distribute tickets via StubHub sold on a higher price. That interview got pulled. How's that? Any better? I'm pulling that.
Can't hear you.
Right, I'm confused.
I can hear you again. Okay, you said it's a very open secret. Carry on.
A very open secret that tickets were distributed directly from a promoter to StubHub and then sold on it higher than the face value of the ticket.
Really, yeah. I mean, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that the whole StubHub scenario is legalized ticket touting, isn't it? Whether it be a music artist, whether it be boxing, it is ticket touting done in a legal way. It's always existed. When footballers used to play in FA Cup finals, they used to give their tickets to touts and take the rake-offs. It's happened forever. But yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's a huge way of making additional revenue, isn't it?
It's only ever a conversation in boxing when Anthony Joshua fights, like, because every other event you can get tickets for without too much of an issue.
Yeah.
But when you, as a business, go out of your way to partner with another business, and that other business is a legalized ticket touting business, it's not a good look.
No.
And when you look at, say, because I had this conversation with somebody on Twitter earlier, AXS is a ticket redistribution service. So they sell face value tickets, but they also resale tickets. Yeah. You can't resell a ticket on AXS for more than 10% of the face value. So if it were a £100 ticket, you can sell it for 110, no more.
Yeah.
StubHub, you can go and sell it for whatever you want a minute after you've bought it. And that's the issue.
Yeah. It is what it is, but it's stop in whatever format it comes in. But yes, but then it's up to people. If you're going to pay these prices, something's worth what it's worth. You're going to pay it, you carry on. I would never buy a ticket for those sort of values on StubHub when it was. I wouldn't pay it.
I had somebody about it earlier saying they have had a conversation with somebody who's on the undercard of that event, and this boxer offered to sell them £100 ticket for £150, I think it was. Because if you wanted that same £100 ticket on StubHub, it will cost you £200. So those directly involved in it are also profiting from it.
Yep.
It's not a good look. The whole thing's not a good look. But as I say, it only ever comes up around Joshua fights. It's not an issue the rest of the time necessarily, or it's not a conversation piece the rest of the time.
No. People are going to pay for things. They're going to pay for it, and you're going to have this thing going on forever. It's never going to change.
No. Costella King on Twitter. He's back.
Good man. Good man.
Morning, Steve. Any regrets about being listed as inactive on BoxRec?
I saw that. Do you know what that is? I used to pay them £500 a year to list all my fighters as under my management.
Really?
And, yeah, pay it. And through COVID, I'd only just renewed it in February. And when it came up for renewal this February, they wanted me to pay again. And I'd paid for a year where I hadn't received anything for it. And they wanted me to pay again, even though I'd been listed as a manager during lockdown when nobody had fought. So I wasn't going to pay that again, was I? I thought that was a bit wrong.
I didn't realise you have to pay BoxRec to be listed as active.
Yeah.
Boxers have to pay. Boxers have to pay.
I don't think so. You pay as a manager so much per fighter or a set fee. I don't think boxers pay to be listed, but if you want to be listed as a manager and put your fighters, I know Mickey Amu pays, you have to pay. So because I'm not paying, I'll be listed as inactive. But to be honest, I thought what they should have done to me is said, I will give you the next 10 year for free because we haven't, but they wanted me to pay again. And I felt that was immoral. So I didn't pay and didn't renew.
Yeah, I didn't realise there was a fee associated to it. There you go. Final question, Ross Newton on Twitter. Good luck with this. Do you think it's odd that Friday's top-ranked fight card, headlined by Michael Conlon and TJ Doney, is going to be broadcast on Fight TV and not Sky Sports, following the recent Sky Sports and Top Rank deal?
Do I think it's odd? The answer is not. The answer is no. I don't think it's odd. But I'd rather comment on that. I'd rather comment on that at Ring Talk Live.
It's not surprising. It's not surprising when you look at the relationship of the people.
That's it.
Yeah, it's not surprising when you look at the relationship of the people involved and who's running and now running the show. It's difficult, it's difficult to say anything about man himself. But no, I'm not surprised Sky has stuck down.
No, there's no doubt to me that it is not surprising. I don't know what is going on, but it isn't surprising that they're not showing it.
No. Right, there we go. My audio's playing up. It's been shit. I don't know what's wrong with it, so I'm going to have to sort that out.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yes, you enjoy being away.
I will do, and we'll be back the week before we do the Ring Talk Live. But drop your emails or text to Martin, and we look forward to seeing many of you on the 21st.
Brilliant. Right, cheers. Enjoy your leave.
Thank you very much, and thanks.
Take care.
Take care. See you later.
Bye.